Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Midwife Sarana and it is my topmost priority to get you educated on your pregnancy, labor and post-labor related issues. I'm really grateful to each and every one of you for the massive support so far. I'm really overwhelmed with it. Yes, so I'll also plead that you keep supporting. I may be able to do this because of your lovely and marvelous support. I only seek for blessings for you. Kindly help me out, share this, subscribe, comment, anything at all. Let's get this across to every other person across the globe. Okay, great. I know you do it. Thank you. So let's zoom straight to today's topic. Lesson for today is actually sex in pregnancy. Now, there are a lot of activities that we do or we undertake before pregnancy, and we can still undertake some of them during pregnancy. So, one of these activities is sex or sexual intercourse. Okay, all right. So, when it comes to pregnancy, sex is referred to as safe sexual activity or safer sex or safe sexual intercourse in pregnancy, with a priority to safety being our topmost consideration, a maximum consideration, a very big consideration to us. And by safety, we mean safety to mother and the baby. As for the men, whichever way mother and baby are, you can come in, right? Great. So basically, that is what safe sexual activity is, or sex is in pregnancy. Now let's try and define what sexual intercourse is, limiting it to pregnancy. For the purpose of education, you are kindly advised to do away with anal sex and then homosexual sex or penetrative homosexual sex. What this lesson seeks to address is penetrative vaginal heterosexual kind of intercourse. Now when we say penetrative, there's an insertion of something into something. Okay, so we are actually penetrating the vagina, so it's penetrative vagina, so an insertion into the vagina. All right, heterosexual means of different genders, so between an originally made man and originally made woman. That is what we mean by penetrative vaginal heterosexual. So it is the insertion or thrusting or penetration of the vagina by the penis for purposes like what? Pleasure and reproduction. Okay, so by this we mean vaginal sex. So it's also called vaginal sex in simple terms, coitus and then copulation. Okay, people would like to practice all form of penetrations during sex. That's fine, but I mean, you can do your fingering, your orals, but not anal, not insertion into the anus. For the purpose of education and health, you are advised to do away with that, and not penetration between people of the same gender. That's males and males, females and females. That's homosexuality. So for this education, we are only basing on penetrative vaginal heterosexual intercourse. So I hope you understand my point very well, right? Great. Now there are lots of guidelines, or quite a number of guidelines, that we are going to follow, or if we follow, is gonna ensure that we practice safe sexual activity in pregnancy or safe sexual intercourse in pregnancy. All right, yes, we definitely have to follow a few things. We have to do a few things to ensure that the sex that we are having, the fun we are having, the pleasure we are having in pregnancy is still safe. Yeah, if we are to ensure that it's safe, then it means we have to follow some guidelines. So what are the guidelines that we are supposed to follow? The first point is to get a green light from your health practitioner, so from your doctors and your midwife. Reasons being that some of us carry high risk pregnancy, some of us are just unsure. Okay, so just for advice and then guidance to free our minds, to clear our minds, whether we can. Don't be shy about things like this. Feel free, and always, whenever you visit us, just ask. Feel free to ask your doctor, your midwife, can I have sex in pregnancy? They have your histories and will be able to tell if you can have sex in pregnancy or not. The second guideline I would give is communication. And by communication, I mean communication between both partners, the partners involved in the sexual act. Sex may be the last thing on someone's mind during pregnancy. Okay, when they are dealing with a lot of discomforts like nausea, vomiting, fatigue, feeling unattractive, and all that. While for others, it may be a time to, they may always be ready. They may be blooming and ready to have it done. Some men may find it's sexier, like having sex sexier during pregnancy. Others may also freak out, maybe anxious, and feel that the slightest touch is going to hurt the baby and the mother and all that, so they tend not to do it. So the bottom line is, when it comes to sex during pregnancy, listen to your body. You, the woman, listen to your body. Even the man, listen to your body and be open with your partner about it. Tell him or her how you feel, so that you both can come to a consensus as to how to satisfy each other sexually. Because, for example, partner may be having sexual desires, mother may not be ready. That is where communication comes in. Sometimes you may even prefer that you are only having an outer course. What I mean by an outer course is, maybe you only prefer to be touched, you only prefer to be cuddled, you only prefer some kissing and all that. You don't prefer to be penetrated. You need to let your partner know. Sometimes you may just not even want a certain part of your body to be touched. So it all boils down to communication. Communicate between the two of you, so that you all can come to a consensus as to handling the pleasures of each one and ensuring that you are satisfying the pleasures of each one. Communicating also helps you to encourage each other on, to ensure that you are all safe and you are satisfying each other safely. I hope I have explained this quite well. Now, the third guideline I will talk about is comfortability. And by comfortability, we have the physical comfort and the psychological comfort. I'll talk about the psychological comfort and add the physical comfort. Psychological comfort has to do with the mind. Your mind should be prepared for the act. Your mind should be prepared for the act, whether male or female. You shouldn't be forced into the act. It's in order to avoid pain and bruises and a whole lot of things. So in instances like lost libido, or your mood is not ready and all that, this is where psychological comfort comes in and communication comes in, where another partner is supposed to understand. None of the partners should be forced into the act. You should be prepared for the act. Your mind should be prepared for it and not forced, to avoid pain, bruises, and other circumstances. In instances where a partner is not ready, I expect that another partner would be understanding enough for that. So that is psychological comfort. Now, psychological comfort is very important, because someone who is not prepared psychologically for sexual intercourse, especially a mother who is not prepared for sexual intercourse, can lead into a whole lot of psychological conditions, the depressions, the anxieties, and all that. So it's very necessary that mothers are prepared psychologically for the act, supposing that a partner wants to have sex. Now, physical comfort has to do with your body, how the woman's body is adjusted for the act, and to how she feels in the process. So is there any breathlessness? Is there any gasping for breath? Is there any pain? And all that. This is how she feels. It's just how she feels in the process. Okay, so the rule is, or the golden rule is, if it doesn't feel good, even if you're in the process, it doesn't feel good, or it's making you, the woman, feel the least bit nervous, you just have to stop it. Okay, you just have to stop it. That is the point. There's no two ways about it. Imagine you are in the act and then you are so breathless, you can't breathe, you can't do anything, you are gasping. You just have to stop. You just have to communicate it and stop the act. So that is that about physical comfort and how you feel. Now, another aspect of physical comfort, how the woman is adjusted, that is positioning. Then I will talk about sex positions or safe sex positions that we can adjust or practice in the next video, just so this one wouldn't be so long. So I'm just doing the guidelines, and then I also try and answer frequently asked questions about sex in the next video, in addition to the positions here. So I hope you get me. I hope you get it. All right, great. And then another guideline is that you cannot have energetic sex during pregnancy. Now, pregnancy is not the time to do gymnastics. No. So you cannot have energetic sex. I mean, you have to be a smooth rider, okay, in pregnancy, because we have a life to protect as well. Then do not blow air into your woman's vagina during sex. Even if you want to lick, you want to finger, that is fine, but do not blow air into your woman's vagina, because we want to prevent air embolism of the lung, okay, or air embolus. It can travel all the way to the lungs, and it's just a fatal condition that can occur during pregnancy. So these are my guidelines. Yeah, these are the simple or the basic guidelines that I would give you. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it. I mean, catch more on, is sex safe for pregnancy? Why we are anxious? Are we not going to hurt the baby? We want to, answer more questions in the next video. All right, okay, and then we'll talk about the positions as well. Thank you for joining. I hope to come your way with more series on sex in pregnancy. Bye.